All right, and welcome once again to the Power Lunch Live Show, our second show of our new relaunched season. And if you heard last week, you saw me with one guest and one surprise guest. Today we have more than one guest. How many guests are hiding behind me? Wait, you'll find out in a moment. So before we get to that, for those of you not familiar with the show, the concept here is that the powers of serendipity and random happenstance bring awesome people onto my stage to interact together. And I just let the right people come together and amazing things happen. I think I see some of the interactions that are going to be happening today in terms of the bios people are here, but I never know what to expect on this show. You don't either, except that it's going to be an amazing, awesome conversation, because when you bring good people together, good things happen. Speaking of bringing good people together, next week is JV Connect. June 25th and 26th, I am running the dedicated virtual networking event. I think it is the best networking event on the internet, best virtual networking event out there. Why? Because it is the only one that is focused on just being the best possible networking event. It's not built to be an enrollment event that's also networking, or a speaker event that's also networking. It is a networking event first and foremost. Anything that's not that doesn't make it in. So you're going to meet some awesome people, and tickets are only $90, or you can buy the June, September, and December tickets for $150 for the whole thing. Pretty good deal. So you go to jvconnect.com to do that. That is the sponsor of our show, so to speak. I mean, it's my event and it's my show, so I'm sponsoring my own show. But anyway, enough about me, enough about this. Make sure to grab your tickets there. Let's meet our guests. Ta-da! Here they are. So the way we do this show is that I'm going to give each of our guests the spotlight for a few minutes, then kind of let the conversation flow. Then the next guest spotlights a few minutes, then conversation flow, then spotlight, then flow. That's how we do it. So our first guest, because I just do it in the order that's on my screen, which is the order they logged in. So, all of this is driven by serendipity and random happenstance, because the universe is way smarter than me and knows how this show should go together. So let's get our first guest up here. This is Cindy. Let me introduce her. Wait, bring her to be big. So Cindy Judd Burns is a certified life purpose coach, happiness coach, and grief doula. She is the mother of 6 adult sons and also a widow, having lost her husband on August 2nd, 2011. After going through her own grief, she has found her purpose in helping others navigate their way through grief and find new purpose in life. Cindy offers a variety of services, both online and in person. Locally, she also has a private Facebook group for the widowed called Widows and Widowers Support Group, Finding Purpose. So Cindy, share something awesome with us.
Well, I'm a firm believer in synchronicities, and that's how I got to be doing what I'm doing. I came to a point in life where I was retired. My children were all grown and on their own and healthy and happy and didn't need me on a regular basis. And I was no longer a wife because my husband had died a few years prior. And I had no purpose. I had no reason to get out of bed in the morning. And I sunk into a very deep, dark depression. But I was still active online, and people were telling me, I heard somebody mention something about life coaching. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. So I Googled it, like we all do. We Google things. And the very first life coach course that came up was life purpose coach. And that's what I was looking for, was a purpose. So I took the course, and not only did I already know everything that was in the course, I just hadn't applied it to my own life, but I realized that my purpose was to help other people find their purpose and find their way through grief. And the next course I took was a happiness coach, because it just seemed to come naturally after grief. So that's my story.
Great. And so what would your the brief form of your advice be for someone who finds themselves stuck in that situation?
Well, grief and happiness are not mutually exclusive. You can be happy while grieving. Grief stays with us for life. It's just a matter of levels of grief. There's an ebb and a flow to it. And, you may be doing fine for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden you hear that song or somebody says something and it kind of comes back, but you know you've been through it once before. So you know you can get through it again. And when it comes back, when it rears its ugly head, it's not as severe as it was when it was new. So
yeah, that's a powerful point there. I often tell people that they are undefeated to this point, because if they're still here, nothing's killed them yet.
yes.
So
exactly.
everything in life that's tried to take you out has failed, and you're still here. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, because they've sort of been defeated in their own mind so many times. They don't realize
happiness is a choice.
Yep. Yeah. And so for Barry Lyon, feel free to jump in if you have any thoughts you want to share. This is an open roundtable.
I want to embrace wonderful Cindy and mention something that she said and pull it up and look at it again and see how beautiful it is. That she's used the words, after grief comes happiness. Because there's a very important foundational idea in life that we need oftentimes to go down in order to come up. And the image that you can use is on a diving board. Anybody ever been on a diving board? You know that the real divers, they run a couple of steps, they push down on the diving board to go higher. So the grief is the going down. The going up leads to happiness. So thank you for that, Cindy.
Well, I like that analogy. That was very good.
Much appreciation. Yeah, I come from a very different mindset than most what I see around me. Whereas most people are afraid to speak about issues of that. It's almost like a hidden type of thing. Whereas my family, we celebrate, grief and life, and almost like in some other cultures where they will keep a picture up, but it's a happy moment, right? So that's how I look at it, in the way I approach it. So, very good.
Yeah, I think as a society, we're so afraid of death and dying that we don't talk about it enough. And I think if we talked about it more, the mystique of it wouldn't be quite as severe. And like you said, we could celebrate the life instead of the death.
Yeah, absolutely.
And life is a great acronym, Cindy. You ready for this?
Okay.
Living inspirationally for eternity.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, look at that. Because that's what our life is. When you recognize that you are an eternal being, then death and dying is not frightening.
Yeah, true.
It's part of a process. And a wonderful process at that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that brings up a good point. I've been really delving into theology a lot for the last 6 weeks or so. I recently launched a podcast called Faith, Hope, and Love. And one of the things I found in that is that as I've been exploring this idea when you have faith, you kind of see things in a bigger picture. You see it as there's a bigger plan. And unfortunately, this is so often reduced to fortune cookie wisdom. But like, well, God has a reason. And which usually results in people being like, well, God's a jerk.
Yeah.
But what that is the cookie cutter wisdom version of fortune cookie wisdom version of is that this is a much bigger universe and your life is a much bigger canvas. And you are so zoomed in on this moment that you're not seeing anything else. And it's okay to feel in this moment and go through, whatever you're going through. But I think oftentimes it's not just the grief itself. I've lost this person or whatever. It's everything is over because you're not looking at the whole picture. You're looking at, everything was this person, this relationship, this job, this whatever it was. And now that's gone. Nothing else is left. And so true faith gives you this sense of a bigger picture. Even if you can't see the bigger picture, there is one. So whatever this is must be part of something. And I'm leaning towards doing a lot more writing and speaking on this topic because I'm realizing no one else is. All the a lot of it's just this fortune cookie wisdom and this, oh yeah, read your Bible and have faith. Well, what's that even mean? So you hear people who have faith and suddenly something bad happens and it shatters because it was all platitudes and motivational posters and not truly understanding.
So I would like to share. I'd like to share with you, Michael, and our many thousands of listeners, and with you, Cindy and Lion, a powerful acronym that I learned for faith that has been helping me over the years, and FAITH, finding answers in the hidden, or finding answers in the highest. So if you're a God believer, finding answers in the highest. Is it easy? No. Is it simple? No. You're right, Michael. Is it cookie cutter? Well, it's sort of easy I say this with some love to people, for other people to say, well, that's God's plan. Well, something, thank you. I don't need you right now. God, I love you. Let's have a little dialogue here. You can shout, you can scream. God actually likes them. How do I know? Because it is in the Bible. He wants people to scream out and bare their beings and say, why? Except say it with, why me? I'm just a regular person. What am I supposed to do? Cindy, you pulled it out of your proverbial hat. Say, well, now what am I supposed to do?
I spent some time yelling at God. I spent some time with him.
You couldn't be here if you didn't.
I never lost my faith in him. And I knew that there was a reason why, I went through what I did with my husband, and I'm living that reason right now, helping other people. So something good, you've got to try and make something good come out of every situation.
Every situation.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I lost my thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's okay. That was the producers signaling you that it's time to introduce Barry. See, everything on the show happens for a reason the way it's supposed to, which makes it so much easier for me to run. So let me introduce our next guest, Barry Shore, known as the Ambassador of Joy. Barry Shore is the founder of EinsteinCares.com, whose mission is to give $1 billion with a B dollars to charity without costing any giver a penny. Barry is a mental wellness activist due to his recovery from being a quadriplegic. He is also a philanthropist, multi-patent holding entrepreneur, speaker, author, podcaster, and now swims 2 miles per day, 6 days per week. After a rare disease paralyzed Barry from the neck down, he created the Joy of Living community, the Keep Smiling movement that has reached multiple celebrities and distributed millions of Keep Smiling cards worldwide, and a philanthropic platform featured in Oprah's magazine. Barry's podcast, The Joy of Living, is in the top 2% of all podcasts with millions of downloads and is heard by hundreds of thousands worldwide weekly. Barry's latest book, Oh Shift, is available along with his other best-selling books on Amazon and on BarryShore.com. Previous titles include The Joy of Living, You Deserve It, and A Pocket Full of Acronyms, which are available for free at BarryShore.com/ebook. So, Barry, share with us a message.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Now, Michael and Cindy and Lion, how can I make the categorical statement that all the thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that are watching, listening, and will be are all good-looking? Because by definition, if they tuned into this particular session and what you do, Michael, on a regular basis, it means they're always looking for and finding the good in life. That's a good-looking person, right, Cindy? Right, Lion? Good-looking person, somebody who's always looking for and finding the good. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and it's about me. So imagine I'm standing up in the morning, completely, totally healthy and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed, my neck down. And it was not from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease which took over my body and rendered me a quadriplegic. Nothing in the body moved. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over. I couldn't move. I was 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. Can't walk up a stair by myself. Can't walk up a curve by myself. And I've helped 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word. One word, Michael. And the word is smile. Cindy, you're going to write this down. Lion, you're going to write it down. SMILE stands for seeing miracles in life every day. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I got to tell you, I'm very privileged to speak to people on the web, sessions like this, my podcast, and in person. Recently, I spoke at a group. We had 1,127 people in the audience. So I'm telling you a story about Barry Shore and seeing miracles in life. And some people raise and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours, I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink? Do you have food? Do you have a place to sleep? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the proof? Simple as proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or you're listening, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation in life to live life fully, to live exuberantly, and to spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Cindy, to take off from where you were giving us great insight and input, this particular show is not about information. You can get lots of information on the web. It's overload. It's not even about inspiration, as wonderful as Barry is and Cindy and Lion and Michael, because you know what happens in inspiration, right? Yeah. This is about the T word, transformation. Transformation needs what we call a shift in perspective. Now, I can tell you, I've been working with people for more than 4.5 decades. And 97.2% of the people I work with, and they're all starting as high achievers, they drop the F in shift and the other stuff happens. You got to be effing careful with your F's. Because when you shift your perspective just a little bit, tiny bit, then what happens, you can internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will show you the path of your life and the trajectory. Cindy, you just articulated it, right? So if there's a message, an overall message that I like to share with people, it's about this wonderful acronym, 3-letter word, joy, which stands for Journey of You. Because this show is not about Michael Whitehouse, great guy that he is, or Cindy, sweet loving, or Lion, roar, or Barry Shore. It's about you. You becoming the best you possible. Because when you're the best you make the world a better place. You build more harmony, more bridges, you create more joy and happiness, peace, and love. And everybody can live in joy daily, no matter your circumstances. I'm proof. And I'll finish with this, Michael. As he mentioned, I'll just give you quickly. I was a quadriplegic. Nothing in the body moved. And you think, wow, Barry, you're cured. I still can't get up from this chair because I'm paralyzed from the waist down. Big deal. I learned to move my body again through something called aquatic therapy. They put me in a pool. They put all kinds of devices on me so I wouldn't sink and drown, and moved me around for years. One day I moved my arms over my shoulders and I did a backstroke in the pool, right? And I did 2 of them. I hit my head against the side of the pool. And I said, yay, I moved. Then I turned myself around. I didn't let anybody touch me. I couldn't stop because I hadn't moved in years, right? I swam for 98 minutes without stopping. So I'm going to make the story very short. I said, if I can do it once, I can do it again. I did it twice a week, 3 times a week. I was able to turn on my belly eventually. Now I wear paddles because my hands don't call. I use a snorkel and devices on my legs so they don't sink. So I got stuff. I swim 2 miles a day. 6 days a week. And as of we're in June 21st, first day of summer, 2024. As of May, I think it was May 15th, I had swum 9,600 miles.
Crazy.
Yes, you can applaud. Come on, Lion. Come on, Cindy, you can applaud. And I made a video, and the video I make is I say, am I swimming for me? Well, yeah, I'm healthier and my tan and good and such. I'm swimming with all the people in the world to say, I can't. I can't. Yes, you can. Everybody can. You can live in joy daily, no matter the circumstances. See miracles in life every day.
Woo.
That's good stuff. And I love that point, and yeah, how you point out the a million people didn't get out of bed this morning, and there's so many people are so fixated on what they can't do, what they don't have, what's wrong. I got this, I got that, I can't. And then there's my daughter heard, I can't remember where I heard this. It was some kind of motivator of some kind who shared us the motivational question, but are you on fire? And it's kind of a go-to, no matter what's going on, unless you're actually on fire, it could always be worse because you could be on fire. So for whatever happens, you lock your keys in your car, you get fired, you get a flat tire, you break your leg. But are you on fire? No. So that's good. That's a good thing. And it just kind of keeps that in perspective. And I've a couple of times gotten her to, something will happen and she'll be like, but Dad, are you on fire? And so I'm trying to plant that. But that idea of we have so many gifts and so many miracles, that smile concept is so powerful.
And all available for free. This is really important. So again, I'm honored to say I published 3 books. We published 3 books last year and 1 this year already. They're all available as a gift. One, you can only get 1. There's 4 of them. barryshore.com/ebook. It's yours. I urge people, if you think that you're a winner, and take action and do it. See, the definition of a winner is action. Say, well, that's a great idea. I like Barry. Okay, blah, 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 blah. And you don't take action, you're not a winner. You want to be a winner in life? This is the simplest proof. Do you take action or you don't? Now, you can choose not to. You say, okay, I choose not to. I don't like Barry Shore. Fine, that's up to you. But you choose. Take action in life. And the second piece is, and this is so important, you go to barryshore.com, lots of stuff there, and you can send Keep Smiling cards to people for free. Hello, for free. You can shift the energy of the planet for free. You can send 5 at a time, by the way. You can send 5, Keep Smiling, and we have many other cards also, inspirational cards, for free. Why would you not do that? I don't know. You love people. If you love yourself, you do it. See, that's the most important thing, right? People forget it. They need to, everybody says, I want to fly, Barry. That's great. You know what FLY stands for? First, love yourself. You cannot love anybody. We know that. Come on, this is not bubblegum stuff. This is real deep. You cannot love. Isn't that what you teach, Cindy? You cannot love another until you find not just peace with you, but say, oh, wow, Barry Shore. Woo, love you. You know what love stands for? Living on vibrant energy. Yeah. Living on the vibrational plane. Are we not feeling it, everybody, right now? The thousands, the tens of thousands, maybe the hundreds of thousands of people around the world feeling the pulsation of what we're doing right now, Michael and Cindy and Lion. Woo! I'm tingling. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, and Cindy, Lion, feel free to jump in if you have any thoughts. Don't need to raise your hand. Just shout it out. But to what Barry was saying, you earlier said good-looking people, and they're looking for the good. And I think so often, especially if you spend time watching, TV news or on the wrong parts of social media. Funny thing about social media is it reflects back what you do. So if you see a negative post and you hit that little X in the corner, Facebook, you can hide any post. And when you hide it, it tells Facebook, I don't want to see these posts. So if you see negative, divisive political posts, just hit the X button and then comment on the ones you like. And Facebook's going to say, oh, you want to see more of the positive stuff. You want to see more of the uplifting stuff. And you'll get that. But same thing walking down the street. If you walk around being like, oh, that frickin' Biden, that frickin' Trump, that frickin' these people, those people, then you're going to get that back. Because people are like, oh, yeah, I hate them too. Whereas if you're like, people are pretty awesome. I love people. People keep doing good things. Good things keep happening to me.
And guess what happens?
Some people say you're a weirdo and walk away.
People.
Yeah. But some people will be like, yeah, no, that's true. Great things keep happening to me too. How cool is that?
So, Michael, this is just one point because it's scientific and people always love the science. Okay, Barry, it's easy for you to say you're rich and handsome and famous and blah, 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 blah. What about me? You don't know my story. Okay, if you know that. It's called a reticular activator. We all have a brain.
Yeah.
Reticular activator. What the heck is that? So, Lion, you're going to go out and buy a purple Volkswagen Beetle, right?
Okay.
That's what you decide you're going to buy. Well, guess what's going to happen for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 days before you buy that? You're going to see purple Volkswagen Beetles everywhere because it's your reticular activator. The human being is the most powerful energy channel in the world. In the world. It's nothing. Nothing comes close to who you are. Now, when you recognize that, woo, now you're going to do what Cindy did. Well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Well, guess what's going to happen when you ask the question? You're going to get an answer. Hello. Right, Cindy? You got an answer.
And I get people asking me, well, don't you get depressed? Doesn't it make you sad to hear all these people's stories? I said, no, because I can see the possibilities. I tell people, I said, I'm a grief coach and a happiness coach. You come for the grief, but you stay for the happy.
Oh, I love Cindy. And so you see, she's a cog. Everybody thinks, what's a cog? You know, a little piece in a big machine. Well, yeah, that's who you are, because cog stands for channel of goodness, a child of God. When you recognize that, those people that are coming to you purposely, Cindy, with grief, handkerchief, no, it's impossible. Nobody's ever suffered like this in the world before. And you say, and you listen and say, okay, now let's see what one small step we can do here and there. And the purpose is, they don't know it. The purpose is to get them to happy land or to live in joy. And you say, hey, have a keep smiling card. Don't you know that I'm upset? Yes. Okay, now let's shift. Remember shift? If you drop the F and shift, you know what happens? Yeah, that other stuff. You don't want that. Unless you choose to. Say, I choose to live in an angry mood. Okay. Do what Michael said. You'll see it all over. Reticular activator. I'm a good-looking person. I find the good. Ooh, that's nice. I love getting in the pool. I swim 2 miles a day. I was a quadriplegic. And it ain't easy every day.
Yeah, and so Barry has now programmed us for two things. One, we're gonna notice more of the good in the world because he primed us for that. And two, you're gonna see purple cars. Like, pay attention to the road in the next days. Right. You're gonna see, you're like, are there even purple cars? You're gonna see them. They're gonna be they were there before, you didn't see them. Now you're going to see them. So with that, let us bring up our third guest, who is it is not readily apparent how he fits the theme, but I'm sure he does because my producers don't make mistakes. Lion has worked for years to discover ways to separate his video presentation from the norm. So gather some questions you want answers to and get ready to see some visual mastery. Show us the magic, Lion.
So thank you first off for having me, man. This is so interesting, and it is actually a whole different world than what I'm used to seeing and being involved in. So it's refreshing to have the guests talk about and tell their stories for everyone to hear. I guess I'll bring maybe a little bit of different type of levity to the situation in this visual presence. And actually, I was recently teaching a class for green screens, and that's what I have behind me because I don't usually use green screens, but I was teaching people how to use them and have different aspects. So it's like that, so to even make it more engaging. So that's what I do, ladies and gentlemen. I have the visual effects in the visual world, showing people how to create whatever they want their world to be in this virtual space. So thank you for bringing me on. I like to keep my
Wait a
stuff.
minute. I have to jump in here. I have to jump in here, Michael, because what Lion just did with that image of that wonderful woman moving, did you do that, Lion?
I did.
That was just too cool, right, Cindy? I mean, all of a sudden we're looking at the Eiffel Tower and such. All of a sudden they have this somebody, obviously, good-looking shape moving around the van. You caught my attention. That was really cool, Lion.
Look at that. So, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. All of what we do is amazing, and I think of it as a big win-win kind of situation. Give it for acknowledging that. I appreciate.
Do you have any videos that you could show, like a 30-second gig or a 25-second gig?
Absolutely. I have tons of stuff.
Is that fair, Michael, to ask him to do that?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I definitely could do something like that. Let me ask you, in reference to the gig, are you talking about work that I've done, or
anything that you've done that you're really proud of? Say, hey, look at what I do. Look what I've created. Okay. Come on,
yeah,
I want to be captivated, Lion.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So I just actually finished with a client, and I created this video intro for their podcast, and that was something that I was actually proud of. So here it goes.
Fighting for America's freedom.
So there's an example of that. Don Woodward, he's a veteran, and he has a podcast, and he just wanted some fun, unique video to introduce and exit his podcast. So that's an example of one thing that I just did for him.
Nice.
It definitely catches your attention.
Yeah, thank you. I that's one thing that I really try to work to show people is when we get virtual, most people get laid back, take it as serious as if they were in an actual meeting in a building, right? Where we have a potential to still meet someone who could change our world, our life, who could sponsor us, whatever, but yet still they show up without the intention of being professional and working towards getting whatever goal that they have. And I always like to say, I don't have an acronym for that yet, Barry. I'm going to think of one. I got to think of an acronym.
just tell me the word. You know something? Let's have fun right now. What's the word that you want to have an acronym for?
Oh, man. Let's go. I'll do a short one. Let me think of a short word. Let's think of love. Did you do love yet?
Love we did. Living on vibrant energy. How about your name, Lion? Should we do an acronym for your name?
Only if I can trademark it afterwards.
Yeah, you can have it's all yours. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll do an acronym for Cindy. Is that okay, Michael?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So Lion, you are living inspirationally, organizing, nurturing.
All right.
Living inspirationally. How about opening, nurturing?
Like it. I'm gonna get that tattooed.
I think because you are a nurturing person, right?
I absolutely am.
And living inspiration. Now, Cindy, Cindy, is caring, insightful, nurturing, daily, nurturing, delightful youth.
Youth.
That's you. Because when you work with grief and happiness, you need to be, no matter what your chronological age is, you need to be youthful.
Yes. Yes. I agree with that. You have to have a youthful frame of mind, because otherwise you're just stuck.
Right, right. And you'll be sucked into the muck. And so I say, use that image of the person going onto the diving board, pushing down, saying, this is where you are now, but watch this, and show them a video. Yeah. You're soaring. Then you can do what Lion did with the missiles. Instead of the missiles, it's the person going into the water. The person going into the water and then emerging from the water reborn. Isn't that what the whole purpose of getting into the, we call it the, in Hebrew, it's called the mikvah, which means hope. But in other religions, being baptized, the whole process of being a unicorn in life. I mean, just, anything can happen. You could just be sitting here and all of a sudden a unicorn. And what I'd like you to do, Lion, is bring a couple of dogs onto the screen. Can you do that? Can you bring some dogs onto the screen?
Yeah. Give me a second while you're doing what you're doing. I'll get some dogs. I don't have it right now.
No, I want you to get dogs because
Let's go gather the dogs.
There's a zebra.
Because I'm going to give you that's a zebra. That's very nice. We want a dog. Now, by the way, here's a great test, Michael. When you see a zebra or a zebra, as they say in Africa, do you see black stripes on white or white stripes on black?
I think I see black and white pattern. Actually, I don't think I see one or the other.
Yeah.
Cindy, you see black stripes on white, right?
I think I agree with Michael. I don't really see anything on anything. It's just alternating.
Okay, well, so the question is, yes, they're alternating, but so you don't see that there was a body there.
It depends. I looked up pictures of zebras, and I see one looks like black stripes on white, and one looks like white stripes on black. Depends on the zebra.
It's really I use this a lot when I do my interactions with humans. And when God made zebras, did he say, okay, well, I'll paint one like this and one like that? What do you start with? Do you start with the blank slate? Is it white or is it black? We know that a black stallion, Fury, was one of the greatest horses in the world. And also a Palomino, a white stallion. Wow. So did they merge together and then they created the stripes? It's fine. Okay, did you find some dogs, Lion?
I have a dog. I'll have it ready in 3 seconds.
The reason why is I want to share with everybody. This is going to be memorable for everybody, Michael. Fair enough? Can I do it?
Yeah, that's it.
But we need a couple dogs just walking across the stream, Lion.
How many do you need right now?
If you didn't find one, it's okay. Everybody knows what a dog is, right?
No, I found one. I just have one dog.
One dog is fine. Just bring us a dog, baby. Bring us a dog.
All right, here it comes. I brought the dog. I brought a.
Michael, how come Lion is breaking up? I'm not breaking up. Cindy's not breaking up.
I think it might be Lion's connection.
Okay, that's right, because he's in Paris at the moment. All right, that's why. Is that the French? It's the French connection. Woo! Was that cool? Was that clever? Thank you. Okay, Lion, where's your dog, baby?
So here it is, right here.
Oh,
there it is.
there be dog with a butterfly. Okay, so this is really cool. So I'm going to share with everybody. We can leave with this if you want. It's one of the greatest acronyms you ever learn. You ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Learn to love dog poop. Learn to love dog poop. Now, let's be blunt. Even if you don't have a reticular activator, everybody sees dog poop once in a while, right? So imagine now when you're walking along the street, wherever you see it, and you're with somebody, you say, wow, that's so beautiful. You say, what are you talking about? Say, I love dog poop. You say, what? Where did you get that? Well, I was listening to Michael Whitehouse. He had on this guy named Barry Shore, and he wants to teach the world to learn to love dog poop, because dog poop is one of the greatest acronyms you'll ever learn. DOG stands for doing of good, power of one person. When you recognize the power that you have as one individual, and here's what can happen. You're walking down the street, you reach out your hand to somebody as a friend, and then to the left of you, another friend. So you're sharing your force of good in life. And now it goes to 2, which goes to 4, to 8, to 16, 32 et cetera, 64, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Together, all of us, we can create a tsunami of goodness. When you learn to love dog poop and you laugh and you smile, something that is normally something you want to avoid, right? You say, no, I love it. Doing of good, power of one person. When you recognize, anybody here ever heard of Gandhi?
Yeah.
Mother Teresa? Nelson Mandela? Martin Luther King? Elon Musk? Bezos? All those people? You think, well, yeah, but they're special. They're special. They're no special than you. No more special than you. You have the same power as Mother Teresa. She's a channel of goodness. Right? Am I right, Michael?
Yep.
When you
absolutely.
recognize that you love dog poop, doing of good, power of one person, there's nothing in the world that can stop your energy. Nothing. Not possible. It's a law of the universe. You know what law stands for? You're going to love this, Cindy. Law is an acronym that stands for love and wisdom. Or when you get really smart, we say love arouses wisdom or awakens wisdom.
I like awakens.
Awaken. I was going to find one that would resonate with you because
Yeah.
you love dog poop now.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. I
And
have
you're actually, you're looking forward to going out over the next day or so, today or tomorrow, whatever, and seeing dog poop and telling whoever you're with, first of all, you're going to start laughing and you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to tell somebody, I love dog poop. Right, Lion? You're going to say that. I love dog poop. And they're going to say, what are you talking about? You crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy with love. Joy.
There's another one.
Oh, more dogs. Nice. Yeah.
Wow.
That's,
And that dog's about to make a poop. Remember,
and that's a powerful message. I think so many people are, they're like, well, I can't reach a large audience. I can't do this. I don't have money on that. And they don't realize is that if you can influence one person or 5 people or 10 people, what's the audience of this show? I don't know. Last week we had 3 people in the comments. I don't know if people actually watched it. Maybe a few dozen. How many people are watching now? I don't know. But I don't worry about it. I put it out there. The right people will find it. The people who need to find it will find it. We find each other. If nothing else, there's at least an audience of 3 for each of us. And I think so many people are hung up on, I can't get 1 million views and I don't know how to get a big following and sponsors and blah, blah. And you don't need sponsors. The cost to do this show is $25 a month for StreamYard.
Yeah.
The cost for my podcast is $17 a month. You got $17, you got $25.
Let me share with you a real life story because this is about me. I began my podcast actually it's going to be 4 years in August. I'm honored to tell you where we are now. 400,000 listeners every week. We have over 6 million downloads. Okay, that's impressive, right? Now go back 4 years in August when I did my first podcast. How many listeners do you think we had, Lion? Other than my wife. No, my wife didn't even listen. She said, I hear you regularly. What do I need you? Okay. So who cares? The point is that you are sharing who you are with the world. Cindy, you're going to love this. SHARE stands for spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy. That's what you do when people come to you. That's what you do. You share Cindy. So now, remember, I started with, you got to start someplace. And we grew. Okay, 1,000. Oh my gosh. 5,000, 10,000, 400,000 people is there. I'll just tell you, we're going to date this. This is June 21st, first day of summer, the year 2024, right? Just prior to this, I'm so honored to tell you this, humbled also. I interviewed a woman named Isabel Newkirk, who you never heard of, but you did. Interesting enough, she was born in England. She moved to India at the age of 7 with her parents. Why? To help out Mother Teresa. So Isabel I mean, Ingrid was raised in the idea of giving and things like that. And when she went back to England, she was employed by England, some department in England to do police work and find out what's happening with cruelty to animals, just because, right? So fast forward. Ingrid Newkirk, whose name you don't know, you know the organization that she built called PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. So I just was honored to interview Ingrid just before the show.
Wow.
Those are the people that come on the show now, the podcast. And I could drop names and tell you others. Why? Okay, because we have a big audience now. But in the beginning, when Barry created the Joy of Living podcast, I invited people that I knew and friends. Okay, some of them were fairly well known, but it didn't matter. It was the process of conversation. Yep. Now, let's be blunt. And for good or ill, I'm monopolizing this conversation, but I think you're enjoying it. And that's part of the genius of humanity, right? Feeling energy between us, not to speak over, but to work with. And I'm just, I am humbled and honored that the four of us are together today.
Nice.
Well, so this has been fantastic, but I do need to get our final comments in because at the top of the hour, I start the Entrepreneur Village. So I put this right before something else, so I don't end up staying on here for 3 hours, so I can get back to work. Planned it that way. But so we're going to do final comments because we have a few minutes, and wow, that's a lot of lions there. So I'm going to start with lion because before an entire crowd of lions shows up on here, and
wait a minute, let's just put this in here because this is so fun. What is a group of lions called?
Pride.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cindy. Right. So be proud of yourself, lion.
Yeah, take about a minute or so. Anything you want to share, invite people to, whatever, promote. Websites I've got.
Absolutely. Thank you so very.
Go ahead, take it away.
Thank you so very much for that and to have me here. I tell you, it was a joy to listen to Barry and his acronyms. I'm going to be thinking about that all day, and to hear Cindy's story as well about finding that inner peace and joy. So I appreciate that. My final word that I love to share with the audience and anyone is to remember to live while you are alive, right? We don't enjoy life. We don't slow down and food to completion, right? We're in such a rush. Just enjoy life and live while you are alive, and memories over money. That's
good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Barry, final thoughts.
I would like to initiate a hug amongst us and for all the thousands and tens of thousands, 100,000 people that'll be sharing this around the world, and then a blessing. So let me tell everybody what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. So on the count of 3, with your permission, we're going to do a hug. Ready, kids? 1, 2, 3. And our blessing from all of us, from Michael, Cindy, and Lion, and Barry, is go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference.
Nice. Barry, before I forget, I'm running a summit in the fall called I believe it's called Doing Well by Doing Good Summit. It's about using business to fund philanthropy. And this is probably a podcast summit. That's what we call it. It's probably a summit mastermind that you should be on. So if I don't remember to remind me to remind you to tell you about it. So
thank you.
Yep. And Cindy, your final thoughts?
Well, I learned the hard way that life is too short to be miserable. It's so much more fun to be happy, and we can take what would normally make us miserable and turn it around. And it just takes a little bit of work, and I'd love to be able to help if I can.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. And I'll share a couple of final thoughts. Well, First off, if you're like, I want to hang out with people like this, you should come join us at the Entrepreneur Village. It is a free thing every Friday at 2 p.m., which is 4 minutes from now. Guywhoknowsaguy.com/village is how you sign up for it, and it just gives you access. If you don't want to sign up, just add the word Zoom to Village, and that'll get you straight in. But this gives you the weekly reminders, and it's a cool crew like this. I restarted this because at one point when I was doing this show, I found that my face would start to hurt because I was smiling so much from the kind of people who are coming on and things they were saying. And I said, I should probably do that again. This is probably some good exercise to work my smile. My face does not get as sore anymore doing this show because clearly I've worked those muscles. Got to build the right muscles for the thing you want. And eventually I'll start looking like the Joker. My face was like all the time because it'll get stuck. But that's cool. That's a good way for my face to get stuck. One other thing that may put a smile on your face is, of course, JV Connect. If you like meeting awesome people and collaborating with them and making money together, I encourage you to come to JV Connect. It is a place where we had people tell me that they made 25 appointments booked on their calendar in 2 days. And I think actually that person may not have been there the whole 2 days. It may have been just one of the days. 25, 30 appointments. I had one person who told me she did $20,000 of $20,000 in the bank account of business that came out of her connections within 2 weeks of attending the event. And my goal is that everyone gets $100,000 of value over the next 18 months, whether it's people they learn, connections they make, directly clients working with them, partners promoting to them, whatever it might be. And my goal is to get this to create $25 million of collective value for everyone there at the event, working up to, I think we got up to about 6 or 7 million last time for collective value there. So if you're looking to network, if you like networking and want to find a better place for it, this is good. If you don't like networking because you're like, I go to networking events and I don't know, come to this one because this ain't like those. So if you like it, you'll love this. If you don't like it, you'll still like this because it's pretty good. So, and my guarantee is always, if you come and don't get valuable connections, I will personally introduce you to 3 people from my network worth knowing. So the price of a ticket to get me to introduce you to 3 people, pretty good deal. And I've yet to have anyone take me up on that guarantee because they meet way too many people at the event and love it. So that's why we're here. We're here to stretch my face. But since I'm here, I figure I'll promote the event I'm doing too. So thank you to our awesome guests, to Cindy, to Barry, to Lion for being on here. Join us back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, different bat guests. Unless they're the same guests. I don't know who's going to show up. But I got a spreadsheet of people who signed up. And as Barry says, keep smiling. It's a good way to leave it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.